Here's a number that should bother you. The vast majority of people will hit 35 without doing 5 specific things with their money. And it's not because those things are hard, it's because nobody told them the clock was even running. So, let me show you the 5 moves and why almost everyone skips them. My name is Alex, and I spend way too much time thinking about how ordinary people actually build wealth. Not lottery money, not crypto moonshot money, just regular paycheck turns into real net worth money. If you're someone who feels like you're doing everything right, but your bank account isn't reflecting it, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because here's the thing, the moves I'm about to show you aren't the ones you see on finance TikTok. There's no side hustle, there's no skip the latte. These are the boring structural moves that the wealthiest 10% quietly make before 35, and everyone else skips.
All right, move number 1. And I need you to actually feel this one because it's the most valuable and the most ignored. Start investing now, even if the amount feels laughably small. And you might be thinking, Alex, I can only spare like $200, $300 a month. What's the point? Here's what most people don't realize. The point was never the amount. The point is the time. Let me show you the math because it's genuinely a little bit insane. Say you invest $300 a month starting at 25. You do it for 10 years. That's $36,000 of your own money total. And then at 35, you stop. You never add another dollar. At an 8% average return, by 65, that turns into roughly $550,000. Now here's your friend. Same everything, but they start at 35 instead. And they don't just do 10 years, they invest $300 a month for 30 straight years. That's $108,000 of their own money, 3 times as much as you put in. And they end up with about $447,000, less than you. Read that back. You invested a third of the money and came out ahead by over 100 grand. That's compound interest, and it is the single biggest reason the gap between people widens with age. This is where it gets really interesting. According to Vanguard's How America Saves data, the median person doesn't get serious about retirement contributions until their late 30s. So the exact decade where your money does the most work, most people sit it out. Now do this. Today, not this weekend, today, open a brokerage or retirement account and set up an automatic transfer, even $50. You're starting the clock. That's the whole move.
Move number 2, kill the debt that's eating you alive. Now, before you obsess over investing more, destroy your high-interest debt. And I mean the double-digit stuff. Credit cards, buy now, pay later, that car loan you don't talk about. Look, here's the psychology nobody addresses. We treat debt as normal background noise. Everyone has a credit card balance. It's fine. The Federal Reserve has consumer credit card rates sitting north of 20% right now. 20%. Think about it like this. If your credit card is charging you 22% and your investments earn 8%, then paying off that card is mathematically identical to earning a guaranteed 22% return with zero risk. There is no investment on earth that reliably beats that. None. Warren Buffett would take a guaranteed 22% every single day. Now, you might be thinking, but shouldn't I invest at the same time so I don't miss out? And I get the fear. But here's the reframe. Carrying a 22% balance while investing at 8% means you're losing 14% a year and calling it a strategy. Kill the fire first. Now do this. List every debt over 8% interest. Attack the highest rate first while paying minimums on the rest. This is the avalanche method. It's the fastest math.
Move number 3, fund your accounts in the right order. Okay, this is the one that separates people who sound smart about money from people who actually are. You need to fill your accounts in the right order because the order is where free money lives. Here's the sequence. 1. Contribute to your 401k up to the employer match. 2. Max out an HSA if you have a high deductible plan. 3. Max a Roth IRA. Then, and only then, 4. Go back and max out the rest of your 401k. Why this order? Here's what most people don't realize. The 401k match is 100% instant return. Your employer says, I'll give you $1 for every dollar you put in. If you're skipping that, you are, and I mean this literally, turning down a raise. Fidelity's data suggests a huge chunk of employees don't even contribute enough to get the full match. That's billions of dollars in free money left on the table every year. And the Roth piece is the sneaky, powerful one. You pay tax on the seed, not the harvest. So all that compound growth we talked about in move number 1, in a Roth, you pull it out in retirement completely tax-free. Think of it like paying tax on a bag of seeds instead of the entire orchard 30 years later. Now do this. Log into your 401k this week and confirm you're contributing at least up to the full match. If you're not, that's your #1 priority before anything else in this video. Move number 4, grow the top line. your income is the real lever. This is where I get a little frustrated with mainstream money advice because it obsesses over cutting $5 coffees while ignoring the biggest lever you own, your income. Here's the honest math. You can only cut your expenses down to zero, that's the floor, but your income, that has no ceiling. Somebody who negotiates a $10,000 raise at 30 and invests that difference isn't $10,000 richer by retirement. With our 8% compounding, that single raise, invested annually, becomes over $1 million across a career. This is where it gets really interesting psychologically. We're wired to feel safe cutting back because it feels responsible and immediate. Asking for more, negotiating, switching jobs, building a skill feels risky and uncomfortable. So we optimize the small, safe thing and ignore the enormous, scary thing. Research consistently shows the fastest salary jumps in your career happen by switching roles, yet most people stay put out of fear. Now, you might be thinking, I don't want to job hop, I like where I am. Totally fair. Then the move is skill stacking. Become measurably more valuable where you are, then walk in with proof and ask. The worst they say is no, and you're exactly where you started. Now do this. Pick one. Research your market salary and book a raise conversation, or invest 5 hours a week into a skill that raises your rate. Income is the move most people are too scared to make.
Move number 5. Know your number and protect it. This fifth move ties it all together. Know your target net worth and quietly protect it. There's a formula the wealthy actually use from the book The Millionaire Next Door. It's your age times your income divided by 10. So if you're 32 making $70,000, your target net worth is 32 times 70,000 divided by 10. That's about $224,000. That's your on-track number. Now, most people your age are nowhere near that, and that's fine, because you now have 4 moves to close the gap. But here's the part that 90% skip. Once you start building it, you have to protect it. That means an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses in plain boring cash. It means term life insurance if anyone depends on you. Term, never whole life. We can do a whole video on why. And it means resisting the urge to show the money. Here's what most people don't realize about wealthy people. They're quiet. The new car, the designer everything, the lifestyle that inflates the second the paycheck grows, that's not wealth, that's a costume. Real wealth is the boring number in the account you never brag about. That's the stealth wealth mindset. And it's the single biggest behavioral difference I see between people who build it and people who just look like they did. Now do this. Calculate your number right now with that formula. Write it down. That's your finish line. And every move above is how you sprint toward it.
So real quick, if you've made it this far, you're already in the minority that actually cares enough to fix this. So do me a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps the channel get in front of more people who need to hear this before they turn 35. So let's bring it home. Start the clock, even with pennies. Kill the high interest debt. Fund your accounts in the right order. Grow your income, the scary lever. And know your number, then quietly protect it. 5 moves. None of them require a genius IQ or a trust fund. They just require doing them before the math stops being on your side. And here's the thing I really want you to sit with. The reason 90% of people skip these isn't stupidity. It's that every one of them feels optional in the moment. Investing $50 feels pointless. Getting the match feels boring. Asking for a raise feels terrifying. So they get delayed, and one day you're 45, and the mistakes stop being cheap to fix. You're watching this before 35, or close enough that it still matters. That's the entire advantage. Don't waste it. If this gave you even one move to make this week, subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss more insightful content. I'll see you in the next one.